I got a feeling I'm about to get put on. I got a feeling that something finna take off. I got a feeling, and it won't be too much longer. Got a feeling coming up on the.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. I am Cornbread Capone, and today our special guest is an artist, a businesswoman. She wears many hats. She does lots of things. Miss Hershey, how are you doing today?
I am good. How about yourself?
I'm all right. I'm very busy, but I'm all right. I can't complain about it. Where do I begin? Okay. First question. Um, when was the moment that you decided that you were gonna do music and take it serious?
I've been in the business for 27 years. Signed to my first record label in 97. So, really, you could say that was the moment right there. Yeah, that was the moment that I knew that was it. Just take off. And that was it.
Wow. From 1997. When you say 97, it brings back so many memories for me.
Yeah,
That's the era that I would say cultivated me into the man that I became because
yeah.
the music, the everything that was going on at that time,
Oh,
and
yeah. It was a
amazing.
lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, I love the '90s. So from '97 on, what can you say was your influence before?
As far as knowing that that was something that I wanted to do, like music was always in our household. My dad is a pastor, so it started off church. You're in the choir, and then when I heard JJ Fad, I was done because it was I was a fast rapper, flip flip flip, and so when I heard them, I was like, okay, it's a lane, and I was just hooked. And then it was from there on out, Queen, JJ Fad, Yo Yo, MC Light. It was Salt and Pepper. But and then when I heard Raw Digger, then I really knew. I was like, yeah, I know it's a lane. I definitely know it's a lane because women was just making these pivotal these moves and everything, and it was just the 90s was good. You know what I'm saying? So that was when I just knew, like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Because I started with poetry. I've always been a person that loves words. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what the emotion is, whether you're mad, whether you're happy, you're in love, you're sad, there's no better way to convey emotion than with the use of words. And I've always been in love with that. So that was my moment where I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
Now, you have a lot of different businesses going on right now.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about the businesses that are extensions of the music because I understand you have a nail line.
hmm I have
And
Hershey's nail candy. Um, I have lupus. So when you go into those nail shops, they're using all these chemicals on your hands and everything. It was starting to make my skin burn, with getting my nails did. And I've always been, those are other talents that I had, like doing hair, doing nails. I was like, you know what? I need to find another way to do it because gotta have the nails. So I had all of this stuff and I was like, let me go ahead and just start with press ons. But I was very self conscious about it because I can't be out somewhere and one of them nails pop off. So I found a way, to where they last, they're reusable. I make custom nails. I don't like for people to come to me and be like, can you make this set? No, that's the difference in Hershey's nail candy. You're not gonna have anybody else walking around with what you're wearing. So I have Hershey's nail candy. And then I'm an author as well. I have a book out called Rolling Stone. It's a very, very good read. And I have a children's book out about a black girl named Daisy. And then outside of that, we have the movie coming out, a Jackal story where I play Coco, the main character's girlfriend in the movie. And then outside of that, I have music. Yeah,
yeah, and
all I do.
you was performing last night. Well, how was that last night?
Always the move when you're on the south side. I love what I do. It was dope being amongst the other artists, having the people come out and you just find new people that gravitate to your music. And every Tuesday night at Turning Point, we have Hershe's Hole in the Wall tour, where I bring out one artist to showcase them, to put them in front of a different, in front of consumers. It's okay to perform in front of artists, in front of other artists. Nothing's wrong with that. But I believe that, and I've been argued down about this, that a room full of artists is not an audience. And to me, it's not. Because you got people that come in there, they either riding your coattail or they people that's just on because you they partner. But when you step in front of people that don't know you and have never heard your music, then that's how you find out right there. So I decided to present that to the people as a way to get other artists out there that some people really may not have heard of, as big as they may be. Some people may not have never heard of them. So we do that.
That's what's up right there. Well, I gotta ask you this because you come from pretty much the same era of music that I come from. How do you feel about female rap as it stands in 2024?
Okay. A lot of it's trash. We just gonna be honest. A lot of it is trash, but I do understand that you know how it was in the '90s for us when, and we were in that era where rap was just, it wasn't even about the male or the female. It was them telling us that's not gonna last. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna make it. I'm all for women having a voice and a say, but I guess I'm just really old fashioned to where I still think that we have to have some kind of decorum about ourselves. There's other things to rap about besides your vagina. God damn it, leave something. You know what I'm saying? There's too much content. So not knocking them, because do what you do. Get your bag. I get all of that. But at some point, we can't let that bag kind of be something that deteriorates or takes away from the value that we have as women. Because at the end of the day, you're influencing somebody's daughter. I'm a grandmother. I have a grandson. I have a granddaughter. So you have to be, I just think a lot of it is, it's trash. Some of it's trash. It's a lot of trash out there. It's a lot of trash. You got some people that make good music. I get it. And it's time to turn up. Do your thing, but do not let your entire concept just strictly be built around your ass and your vagina. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that we need to be rapping about. And no, all men are not shit. I do not make music that degrades black men. I do not have music that say men ain't shit. That's a lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. I'm not gonna sell that because I have black sons. I have a black grandson. My daddy black. My brother's black. So I'm not gonna sit there and paint this narrative that all men, all black men especially, are just no good, because that's not true. Those are lies being fed to keep us, against one another. So I think we could do better. There's some dope female artists out there. A lot of dope artists that I respect as female artists. My daughter, Beans, Lady Queen Bishop, Imani Monroe, Sweets, Nina Nicole. It's a lot of them. Texas Marie. It's a lot of us out there. But I just really think that they shouldn't put themselves in one box to where that's all you're able to talk about when you're conveying music to somebody. Because when it's time for you to go out there and perform, what you do over here, you might not be able to go over there and do. And they put themselves in this one box. And then next thing you know, we on stage with Kamala Harris talking about we savages and we twerking, and ain't nothing cute about that. I don't care what nobody feel about it. That's how they go. So
I,
we have
I'm
work to do.
happy. I'm happy that you just said all of what you just said because coming from me, is gonna be looked at as, oh, he's a hater. Every time I say something, I'm labeled a hater. But when it comes from the mouth of somebody else, it seems to be more understandable, and preferably when it comes from a woman's mouth,
We
uh,
get that too, though.
it hits a whole lot deeper because I have conversations with my partners about this all the time about just the female aesthetic in rap as
Right.
it's been for the last decade.
Because
And I
think
think
about it. When you think about country music, it's none of that over there. Even over here, as a female artist, you'll get a lot of gripe about, they put a age bracket on how long we're supposed to do something, or, oh, you still out here nobody's trying to keep it with anything. But I just really believe that at the end of the day, you have to be careful with what you're putting out there. And I get it, trust me, I do. They young, and that's all fine. Well, y'all had it back in your day, yeah, but we only had one Lil Kim. We didn't have a million female artists out there trying to be Lil Kim. We had Foxy Brown, and even though they would sometimes fall on that same level, you can still separate the two and tell the differences in between. Because a lot of times when I had that question and I speak on it, People often be like, "Oh, you just mad because you ain't up there with." I'm not willing to do what a lot of them did to get where they going either. I've never slept with nobody for a track. I ain't have to sleep my way up the ladder. When we was coming out making music, you had people that actually invested in the artist because they saw that you had something and you had the capabilities and you had the talent. Nowadays, it's just a lot of other underlying things that take place. So I'm not hating. Get your bag, do all that. But at the end of the day, remember one thing: don't let that bag be something that you sit up there and you jeopardize your soul and your spirit with and how you're able to move. Because a lot of that music, you're not gonna be able to come back 10, 20 years from now and hear it. They still playing Salt, Queen Latifah, MC Light. They still playing all that today. And if you want to just last out here, you might want to put some value behind your music and stop worrying about, just trying to be it for the moment. You know what I'm saying? You want to be around and have something that's classic, that has longevity to it.
You just dropped the jewel on them, and I hope they heard it. But I want to ask you this because I asked everybody this: does Hershey have a top 10 best rappers?
My top 10 best rappers. I'm a different female off the rip. Off the rip, Scarface is number one on my list. That is number one on my list. Bone Thugs, I'll give them number two. It's kind of Pac is definitely up there. Tupac is definitely there. Kool Mo D. Who else? Wait. Big Daddy Kane. 'Cause they were so lyrical. Oh gosh. Hmm. That's about it. When it's others, I'm quite sure, but I love me some Pimp. I love me some Bun B. Um, mm, yeah, that's pretty much. I have some artists that I really like listening to, but as far as like my influences, it was your Big Mellows and your Scarfaces and things of that nature right there. Kind of old school shit. I like it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your
That's a
Gangsta
top
Milk,
five. That top five is similar to mine. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can relate because we from that era.
Yeah.
All right. So I asked you about is it any upcoming movie roles that you would like to do?
I would like to get into like drama, mystery, love scenes. They cool, love movies, all movies. Whatever opportunities are open, I'm definitely interested in that.
Okay. You wrote a book.
Hmm.
I want to ask you what inspired you to write a book.
Oh, because it's just always been something that I've enjoyed doing, writing poetry, writing short stories. I remember getting my first typewriter. I must have typed up every darn thing, writing short stories, and then I started the series for little black girls, but I gave it the name Daisy, which is usually associated with white girls. But it was actually about a black girl, but it had positive influences where she had that two-parent home. She had that older sister and things like that. And then I said, well, I'm going to start something new. So I had a couple of books that I had started on, but Rolling Stone, it was just something that I couldn't turn away from. I just kept writing. And then I put it out there and it just got rave reviews. It's 5 stars on Amazon. If you don't purchase it, go right ahead and listen to it for free. And it's just a really, really dope book. It really is. It was characters that were in my life that I was able to bring to life in that book. You know what I'm saying? Switching up some names and things like that, but it was just so many influences around me and so much material that I had to. So there will be a sequel coming out to that. I'm gonna make it a series, and it's a really dope book. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Because I don't think I've ever met a female artist who has wrote a book or ventured out into other arenas of business. So
Yeah.
that's major, you know what I'm saying? I want to ask you this. Is there anybody that you've met over the course of your musical career that is a standout moment in your mind?
Yo yo.
Yo, yo.
Yo Yo is a standout moment for me. I would go to Dallas and I had a show, one of my shows up there. It was Yo Yo, Jaguar Wright, Raw Digger, and Raz Cass and Havoc. And it was she's just everything. She's just super dope, super, super dope. I loved her energy and everything. That was a wonderful night, and I'll never forget it because you know how most they'll follow you, but then after that, you know they're gone. She's still there today, and I enjoyed meeting her. I enjoyed meeting Jaguar Wright as well. That was dope for me. Uh, Jawborn, the one that did Erica Badu's On and On, that still is that's one of the moments I just was stoked as an artist. I was like, oh my God. You know, those are some very those moments out they definitely stand out to me. But it was definitely Yo Yo. It was definitely her. Yeah.
All right. So I know you got more shows coming up because I just saw something on Instagram.
Yeah, I have September the 21st. It is the Atomic Block Party. Albie Productions, he's putting it on, and we finna cut up for that. The Crank It Up car show will be coming sometime this year. I haven't gotten the details for that, but I'll be headlining that. Litified is having an event. I believe it's the 27th. Please, Litified, don't get upset if I got the wrong date. But that's another show that I have coming up. Then there's the all female show that is also coming up that I'll be on. I don't have the dates for that, but I will be posting the flyers for that. And every Tuesday, I'm at Turning Point with the Hershey's Hole in the Wall tour every Tuesday. So that's pretty much what I have going right now. Yeah.
What would you say to the young girl who's looking up to female rappers or just trying to be a rapper herself? What advice would you give her?
Be original. Be yourself. Don't go trying to emulate what somebody else is doing. And don't be afraid to do something that you haven't seen done yet. You know, don't be afraid to start that new, that new trend. Don't be afraid to tap into all the gifts that God has given you. But don't be one dimensional. Don't be one dimensional. Make sure that you make music where you can do bar mitzvahs, funerals, weddings, children's parties, every darn thing. Yeah, don't set yourself too much on trying to do what you see everybody else is doing, because a lot of that is trending. A lot of that's gonna be a lot of one hitter quitters. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely tell you to follow your dreams, to believe in yourself. Do not think that everybody that you hang with is going to be the ones that's supporting you. That's why we have the internet now. It's a billion people out there to support you. So and just try to stick with it. Believe in yourself, because it's a blessing when you're able to do exactly what you said you wanted to do, as that little girl standing in that mirror. And just believe in yourself and surround yourself with other women that's going to celebrate you, push you to be your best, and keep you on your toes, and not be afraid to correct you and try to guide you in ways that can help you help you to continue bettering yourself, continue perfecting your craft. Everything is not, a lot of hate, and a lot of that is constructive criticism. You just got to put yourself in a place where you can be able to take that, chew the meat, spit the bone, and keep it moving. But do that. Yeah, because you can do it. You can do
As an
anything you want
artist,
to do.
how many projects have you released?
How many projects have I released? I've done 2 albums, a lot of features, singles. I feature with a lot of people. So I can't count it off the top of my head, and a lot of it I've taken down. But I've just had the opportunity to do a lot. My first album was with Endo. That was what, 99, 97, 98, 99. That was the first one. And then when I came back on my own and got from under the industry, I released 2 albums. I did the first one. I had a cousin that produced that one. That was really just helping him out because he was the producer. Then I did Hershe Unleashed. And after that, I just dropped singles and I feature a lot. So, yeah, just
That's what's up.
staying busy.
I want to ask you about the industry because it's something that um, people outside of the industry talk about the industry and what they think goes on. And I know
Right.
that with social media, YouTube, a lot of information that was probably, I guess, not given to us at a certain point is
Right.
now available to us now. But is the industry as bad as people make it sound like it is?
Um, when I say industry, it's because at that time I was signed to a record label. So I mean, it's a lot of Okay, it's a lot of I prefer the independent part of it because I don't have somebody just so much as trying to create what they want me to be, or you have to do this, or you got to do this. I don't have anyone doing that because, and to think about all that stuff that comes along with the industry, even if you're thinking about the Illuminati sect or something like that. I prefer to be an independent artist. I really do. It gives me more control over, and then we ain't gonna even much talk about that 360 deal stuff. It's just a lot that goes with it. I don't think the artists are really getting, unless you just have that, to where you got it set up right. But I didn't care for it. So I prefer just the way it is as an industry artist because it gives you that control, that ability to be you and not conform yourself to what they want you to do. And then it's gonna get deeper than that because you gotta think about who's really controlling that. There's a lot of sisters out there that's doing that music, but it's a white man that's behind all of that there. And he's taking that narrative and he's constructing it to what they have the ideas that a black woman is. They had one ad where they actually spoke to two Jewish record label owners. And it was like, well, why you don't display women as, black women as positive and this and that? He said, because that's not how we view them. That's not what I think. That's not what I think about black women. And it's in an article and it's right there in our face. And he's like, I don't say that they're queens. I think it was bitches with attitudes that they were pushing. And they were like, why are you pushing them? Why not a queen? He was like, I don't see black women as queens. And it was like, oh, so when you thinking, if you dig deep enough and you go behind all these female artists that are making certain types of music, do your due diligence and research it and find out who's behind them. And then you're gonna see why that's the only narrative that they really push. Because if you compare us to every other genre, we're the only ones that have this degrading, derogatory thinking. Yeah, you have men out there, they talk, well, the man is doing it. Well, that sounds very childish. Just like saying, well, he jumped off the roof, so I could too. That's childish. Think about it. Do your research and find out who's behind it, and you're gonna see why that narrative is like that.
I'm as equally as critical on the men and the women because on the male side, I mean, all they talking about is murder, death, kill, and a third.
Murder, death,
You know what
kill.
I'm saying? And when you murder and kill everything, nothing
There
has
ain't
room
nothing
to
left.
grow.
And then you got to be careful about what you're speaking. A lot of times, if you think about most male artists that have lost their lives, you can actually go back to their music and you're going to almost be able to hear where they actually predicted their death and how it was going to take place. If you listen to it, I mean, it's a big thing about that too. But then it's just a thing to where, and that's what people not going to want to hear and that's what they're not going to like. We have a whole lot of work to do because a lot of that is not culture. They confuse culture music. That's not our culture. It's really not. We have to do better. Everything. It's such sad music. Everything is perks, murder, kill, deaf, bitches ain't. We got work to do. We really do. I get it. It's a turn up morning. I get all of that. But I just always think that there's just something big. That don't mean going around just making strictly kumbaya songs, but we could do so much more because there's little kids out there that don't have mothers and fathers, and they look up to us as artists, and we're the ones that's giving them this here premonition of what life is all about, and it's really not that because you got to be careful with what you speak. And so many of them have lost their lives, and a lot of times it's not a lot of people out there willing to say that they actually spoke death on themselves because there's power in the tongue, and you have to be very careful with what you put out there. So because you think about it, them big main time artists, they talk that nonsense, but they children are going to public schools. They don't even smoke weed themselves, but they'll swear to God at that joke, man, I'm getting high. No, they not. He don't even smoke weed.
Right,
You know, he teaching your son to kill and shit, but his son going to a prep school. His son is at a private school. You know,
right.
so yeah,
Uh,
I guess that's auntie getting old or whatever they want to call it, but that should be the
No,
goal
it's
though.
being real because this is the truth. This is the truth, and this is what people need to hear. I'm glad that you saying what you saying because I hope somebody out there is listening and paying attention to it.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I do too.
before we get up out of here, though, is there anything that you would like to say? Anything that you would like to promote?
Well, as I said earlier, I'm definitely promoting Hershey's nail candy, and you can find that on Instagram. That's Hershey's underscore, and it's Hershey without the Y. E underscore nail candy on IG. And then I have the shows that's coming up. And then, and follow me on Instagram, Hershe Da Lyricist on all platforms. And yeah, come get some of this Southside love. That's about it.
Already. Well, I thank you for hollering at me. You know what I'm saying? I know we've been trying to make this happen for a while. I'm glad that we did.
Yeah.
We have to do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
On behalf of Miss Hershey, I am Cornbread Capone. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. And until next time, everybody, peace and love, because that's what the world need in a major way. Peace
In
and
a
love.
major way. Yes. And thank you for having me. I